Welcome back to another installment of Time Travel. This is Scott Barnes TV, and I'm your host, Scott Barnes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Come with me back down the rabbit hole to 1930. It was the golden age of Hollywood, and it was also the Great Depression. It was all about movies, big bands, jazz, and radio. It was all about entertainment. So come with me and let me entertain you.
Hooray for Hollywood, that's good we Hollywood.
I've told you a million times not to talk to me when I'm doing my lashes.
All right, guys. Nope, you didn't die and go to makeup heaven. And I'm not your guardian makeup artist. This is the 30s. Welcome to the 30s. How you feeling?
I'm feeling beautiful and glamorous.
You're feeling very glammy. It was a glammy period. Why?
Because of the golden age of Hollywood.
There you go. But how did that get born?
I don't know.
Think. We were in the Depression. It was the worst depression America's ever seen, right? It was the Depression of the 30s. Movie tickets in the 30s were a nickel. You could see a cartoon, you could see a newsreel, B feature film, and then you'd see the main film. It was 4 hours of entertainment. You were like
amazing.
You were losing your mind. But with that, we also got all these celebrities, right? So this is where the stars were born. You know, you got to really think. That's why they say this is the golden age of Hollywood, the 30s.
Love it.
Let's talk about Oscars. Gone with the Wind,
Yeah.
1939, amazing. Grand Hotel, 31 to 32. It Happened One Night, 34, all Oscar winners. Other amazing films, Wizard of Oz, Snow White, and The Seven Dwarfs. Disney characters came in the 30s, Donald Duck, Betty Boop, everybody loved them, right? Betty Boop I thought was really 20s. I said that in the last video. I felt like she was a throw into the 30s. Boop,
Kind of transition.
That was the other thing. It
What?
was transatlantic, the way that everybody spoke in the 30s. So it wasn't like this fake English accent, it was actually a thing. So in the 30s, it was so different from the 20s, right? You did our 20s.
Absolutely.
You did 1909 with me.
Right. Back
So
for the 30s.
now we're here in the 30s. We're probably like 34-ish right now.
Okay.
Right? That's
Right
where I
in the
want to
middle.
stick it, right in the
Yeah.
middle there. And women preferred softer feminine styles.
Sure.
They wore ball gowns, pink hued makeup. Women grew out their hair. It wasn't so bobbed. They started using curling irons and setting their hair. One of the first foundations that I ever worked with was Alexander de Markov,
Okay.
which came out in the 30s.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually before then, but it really hit its stride in the 30s.
Okay.
I fashioned my first cosmetic foundation called Multimedia after this formulation because it was really the first thing I used. It was the closest thing to like oil paints and stuff.
Sure.
So I prepped the foundation and Frank did your hair. It was a process to do your hair and also to remove your eyebrows. Again,
Yes.
I can't wait till we get into the decades where I don't have to take your eyebrows out.
Right.
It's so much work. I figured let's just start there so that
Sure.
we had a nice pinky hue to your skin. Daniel Coy made this wig custom for your head shape. We took a mold of Lakin's head and we sent it over to Daniel Coy. He's such a great wig maker. And I'm gonna be doing his podcast, so you guys get ready for that as well. Frank styled her hair and braided her hair and applied this wig and went through, actually he had to color her scalp. So there's a whole video that you guys should look out for that Frank did on how to lay this wig down. He did an amazing job. Thank you, Frank. We love you. Doing all
Hey,
this
Frank.
great hair. Heart-shaped faces were really important.
Okay.
And if you had oval faces, it was about the placement of the makeup.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about a little bit of that. First of all, let's talk about eyebrows. They were thinner than they were even in the 20s. What they were is they were really arched, almost like a half moon. It kind of trailed off. I don't know if it's because everybody was shaving off their eyebrows in the 20s and it was just like, let's just change the shape of them because no one had the energy to like grow them out.
Eyebrows are tough to grow out.
They are.
Yeah. It's a process.
Don't pluck your eyebrows. That's the rule, okay? You can always just glue them down and change your mind later. Let's draw on an eyebrow so you don't look like powder. So I'm gonna use the contour palette.
It seems like the makeup at this time is much more feminine and much lighter on the spectrum.
Definitely softer. Lashes were really open. I'm gonna use a pair of lashes that are antique. These are antique lashes. They're pretty fabulous. Let's create a brow.
Let's do it.
So you like my white suit or what?
I love it.
I want to feel like I was not in Fantasy Island. I was like, do I look like Saturday Night Fever?
You look like a real biggie, as they would say back in the 1930s.
I know. I can't wait till we get talking about
Yeah.
all the slang.
All the fun lingo.
So this eyebrow was a little bit like, you know, you were a little surprised. And it was long. It was a long brow that went all the way up. Our inspiration was Jean Harlow. See? It's pretty. She was beautiful. She was a blonde. She was like kind of like our first real platinum blonde to hit the scene. I'm gonna use the fan brush, number 66. So check that out. That was a good shape for a brow at that point. I think we could round it even more. They said it was a half moon. So let's talk about some slang. I got a bunch of them up here.
Yeah.
Snazzy. That was the slang, snazzy. You look snazzy. You got a lot of moxie.
Got a lot of moxie, a lot of nerve, a lot of guts.
Yep, you were strong. So, brows were really pretty. Little thin, a little too thin for my liking, but this is what the film stars look like. So we're emulating our favorite film stars. We're really gonna just arch that brow, the way they talked about it so much. It's cute. We framed up your face a little bit with the brow. That helped. You know, we've glued your eyebrow down, right? So it's like we're trying to create space where there probably isn't really space. So tell me some other cute sayings, the vernacular of the day.
Doozy.
That's a doozy.
I feel like this is still around. We still use this today.
Yeah.
That's a doozy. My personal favorite,
Tell me.
ring-a-ding-ding.
Tell me a little bit about ring-a-ding-ding.
So ring-a-ding-ding basically means if you go to a party and you had a really good time, you had a ring-a-ding-ding good time.
That works for me.
Yeah, I still like it. I kind of want to bring it back.
We're doing it. Okay, blush. Now placement. Remember, when we did the 1900s, we were here, and then when we did the 20s, we were here. This is up here now.
Oh.
So they started moving blush around. I'm gonna use the color Minimalist. It's soft, and that blush was high and tight, kind of like a fade. Just high and tight. It was almost triangular shape in the sense that it went right there, underneath the eye. It was almost in the corner of the eye to the temple, to the cheek, like high, like that. It changes the shape of the face tremendously. It's high, 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 high. Pretty. And then we're going to talk about lips.
Ooh.
Lips were such a thing. What's your favorite movies from the 30s that you've seen?
That I've seen, my personal favorite and childhood favorite, The Wizard of Oz.
We love that.
Love that one. Gone with the Wind.
Great film.
And probably Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay. Didn't you just watch a movie this week that I had referred
I
to?
did. Oh, In the Women. That's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
Which I love. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's kind of like The Real Housewives of 1939.
Yes. It was really the first film with an all-female cast. And I think that's what makes that so unique. We're going to go into some lips before we finish up the eyes. Let's talk about lips. 1900s, we had a stain. No one needed to know you wore makeup. It was awful. No one was supposed to be wearing makeup except for prostitutes and actresses. Then we got to the 20s and it was like, but it was about a Cupid bow. It was this like little Cupid's lip, small, short. The 30s, the mouth became longer, overdrawn. It was all about reds and burgundies and berries and cherries. Really great red color. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna use Dior's new collection that they just sent me. Yeah, this one's really pretty. This one's number 884. Great little pencil. You just gotta channel your inner Joan Crawford. This was a long lip. So we're gonna go out to the outer corner. And we're gonna just kind of bring it down. I mean, can you believe that you could go to the movies for a nickel?
No.
Like you were watching these epic films for a nickel. Because now when you go to the movie theater, it's like $1,000.
Right.
And you're like, well, that movie sucked.
Yeah.
And that was, I just spent my whole entire
And that was
savings.
only one movie.
Right.
This was 4.
You got like 4 hours
Yeah.
of entertainment. That was really just something else, right?
Yeah.
Pretty pretty. And we're gonna try to really create that lip. It was kind of bigger on the outside. Like Lucille Ball did it.
Like more rounded.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It was
it was weird. It was like just thick on the outside and
Yeah.
you were like, okay. I probably would not have opted to do that, but I think I'm just kind of like wagering it against today's standards, you know? Maybe back then I would have been like, oh my God, it's amazing.
So great. You have to do.
Yeah, you have to have the weird lip. It almost does a snarl.
Yeah.
It's
Like
a-
it lifts. a
Yeah, it
little.
lifts,
Yeah.
and it's weird. It's a little snarly. All right, I need to even this up here. This came into a point, is what it was. Pretty?
Pretty.
It feels like it's got a little bit of that action going on. All right, this lip color though is beautiful. This is the Lip Rouge. It's called Rouge Dior. It's a beautiful color, and it's a hybrid. I did a lot of stuff with Christina Aguilera.
Oh, nice. nice.
The voice. Peter Savick used to do her hair a lot. He's such a good hairdresser. He does like the 30s Hollywood glamour really well.
I loved that era for her.
Yeah, she's pretty and she's talented. Point this up just a little bit. I think that's the shape that we're kind of going for. This is a great color because it isn't like that bloody red. It's more of like that pinky red. You know what I mean?
Like cherry.
It's like a cherry. You know what nail polish came out in the 30s?
OPI?
No. It was cherries in the snow.
Oh.
And it was probably the top selling color, I think, of that time. Let's talk about nails because you matched your
Talk
nails
about them. I did. I'm
with
very
your
proud
lip.
of them.
Yoko did your nails today.
Amazing.
Like a beautiful
Half moon.
cream and red. So pretty. That was what was going on. So, Dior for the lip. Thank you, Dior. All right, we did minimalist. Now, let's get into eyeshadow. Eyeshadow was lighter shades, less heavy. Shades were in pink and blue and green. Those were the popular shades. And if you look back at like Helena Rubinstein, Charles of the Ritz, and you looked at all of the brands, they had like these face charts. Not very different from what we do. Eyeliner was important. Listen, there was no eyeshadow really before. So we have blue, green, brown, black, and a little bit of Vaseline. Vaseline made its way back into the
Vaseline's back, guys.
We gotta love Vaseline. But instead of using Vaseline, I'm gonna use Danessa Myricks topper on top of this eyeshadow. It's cool, because I didn't want to put Vaseline on top of your eyes. Danessa makes this really great product. It's called Glaze.
Ooh,
And you can
so
glaze
luxurious.
somebody's lid with it. It's good. I don't recommend using too much of it because it'll kind of like not last all night long. I'm gonna go into Color Bomb because I feel like it really has a lot of the colors that we need. I'm gonna start with brush number 63. I'm gonna go into Silk Sheets because you're wearing silk and we got silk everywhere. I'm gonna just put that right on the brow bone. What would be your brow bone, but is actually your eyebrows. So the eyebrow bone, a little bit of Glam Rocks with it. That brow is all about being highlighted. Can you kind of see where that's highlighted? Because I'm doing this over eyebrows, I'm patting it in. I wouldn't do that if I was using it on skin. But I want it to feel like it's wet, so it looks like it's kind of glowing. I'm gonna get a little fancy here. But they said blue was a very great color for that time, so we're gonna go into that, and I feel like it works with our set. This color is one of my favorite colors in the Color Bomb palette called Koi. It can become the softest, most beautiful gray, or it can become a very strong blue, depending on how you want to work with it. I'm just going to layer it in a little bit. Very pretty. You're kind of cute. Don't stop being cute. I think you could have a career in movies. Did anybody tell you that? You could be a movie star.
I could be a movie star.
It's so pretty. You could be a movie star. Do you think I could have been a movie makeup artist back then?
Absolutely.
Just want to make sure we don't have anything whipping around over here. Like some of the makeup artists back then were amazing. You know, Max Factor, who is,
Sure.
in case anybody wants to know, that's my idol. I'm gonna use Feisty, but I
You
spelled
and
it
me.
Feisty. And I'm just gonna go right into our crease. So I'm gonna kind of exaggerate what the movie posters and all that color kind of did early on. They used lighting to create shadows. The light was very heavy from above a lot. All right, open. Feisty. And I'm just gonna drag this around the bottom, just ever so slightly. Going back in with the Koi again, doing a little color wash with the Koi. All right, we're gonna hit these lashes. Lashes were really open. I mean, I really studied these. I mean, this is where I kind of got my inspiration from a lot of the things that I do. Was from this time period. Wanted to do a little measure. You know, waterproof mascara came out at this time too.
Oh, I did not.
I'm gonna put just a really light coat on because I want the lashes to do a lot of the work. So I'm just opening these lashes up. All right, put a little bit of mascara on. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of glue. This is callus glue, which I love. What's really great about this glue is that it's kind of iridescent, and you can get this on Amazon. What you wanna do is not try to lay this down when it's wet, because then you've got like your eyelashes all over your face and it's falling everywhere and it doesn't work well. Why we're letting it dry is just to break the spine. Wiggle her back and forth so she's pliable. And I make a really tight little U shape. Have you met any really interesting guys lately?
Well, I've met a few grease balls.
Yeah, that was a nice term from the 30s. I almost feel like this is almost ready. We don't want to blow on it.
No.
No. And I'm gonna just hit that on the back corner. We're gonna just tap it right in. We don't want this at all sitting on the top. Cute. Which is fun, right?
Very fun.
This is a little tip for anybody that's trying to take off their eyelashes off the card. Do not grab them from the center. You will rip the lashes apart. And I always bend the card like this. And you start to gently work the lashes off the card. Again with the glue, same technique. Bump, 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 bump. All right, we're gonna let her dry. Fast forward. Glamour cannot be rushed. Takes a lot of time to be this beautiful. All right, that lash went on well. Let's put some mascara on the bottom. This makes your eyes super, super blue. Like your eyes are like steely blue now. Kind of cool. So makeup wasn't complicated. It was more about placement and it was about shapes. You know, it wasn't like the 20s. The 20s was like the more the better.
Very severe.
It had its place. Let's use some of this Danessa stuff.
Ooh.
All right, let's do a little shine on the lid. I don't want to put it everywhere because I don't want your lashes to come off.
Right.
But we just want to give it that hint of, yeah, just a little dewiness. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I'm going to try a little bit of this too.
Ooh.
Just to throw it in there. Just for the hoo-ha of it.
Just for the hoo-ha.
This is promiscuous. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of the koi and a little bit of the promiscuous. Look up for me. And we're just gonna throw a little bit underneath here, just to give it a little bit of punch. It's so funny because I'm looking at you and it's like, because we placed the blush in such a different way on you,
Yeah.
it's changed your face. Like, it's even shocking me a little bit.
It's very different. And I think the hair color too.
Oh yeah, the hair color is definitely
like,
throwing me
totally.
for a wing-a-ding. Do you feel like you blew your wig?
I feel like I blew my wig.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
blowing it. What do you think your grandma's gonna say about this one?
Oh, she's gonna love it. My mom too. I feel like I look a lot like my mother with this blonde hair.
Is your mom a blondie?
Yeah, she's platinum. My mom's side of the family is Swedish, so my mom's like
Alright.
platinum.
A little powder. I think we're just about done. I mean, what is missing from this ensemble? Maybe a beauty mark?
I could do a beauty mark. I think that's fun.
Okay, let's use Secret Service. We'll make a little
Okay.
beauty mark. Where do we want it? On the cheek?
Cheek, I think.
Right here. It's cute.
Oh.
I'm gonna use a little bit of mascara because it stays on better. That's my little trick. Moles are never just like a black spot. They have a little tan around them, and I'm using the most delicate brush in the world. There you go. I think this is a good adaptation of the 30s. What do you
I
think?
think it is. I think it's beautiful. It's timeless. It's glamorous. It incorporates all the elements.
Anything else you want?
To
All
add
the
it.
elements. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is the 30s glam, taking from all my research. I hope some of the information that I gave you guys was really good. Remember, people went to the movies to escape their lives, and I feel like everybody needs to escape something now. Maybe movies will make a great comeback. Maybe we'll make some great movies again. And you could be the star of all of the films.
Me?
You, moi.
Yes.
All right, you guys, I love you. God bless you.
Thanks,
I'll see you at the
guys.
photo shoot, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, I'm out of here.